Hey, so this will be my second movie palette guessing game video. I've just put up my last one, hopefully not too long ago by the time this one goes up. But this one is kind of my easy mode version of this video where I'm going to have some hints this time. But before I get to that, I just want to once again say Movie Palette. They have sponsored me, legitimately sponsored me for this video, which is really exciting. And I think that they just make these really awesome pieces of art that I love having around my house. These are the movie palettes. Basically, they are a visual representation, almost frame by frame, really it's scene by scene, sequentially, showing a movie in order. And basically, yeah, it's kind of like very quickly in one image watching your favorite movie. You should check him out. You can go to the website. There's a discount code, which is palette15. You can, I don't know, get some cheaper stuff. I'll have all the stuff, the links and everything down below and everything. You can look at that. But they do ship worldwide. You can get different sizes and they do custom ones where you can request whatever movie you want them to make one of. And they're just really awesome. Let's get on with the guessing game. Okay, so this is basically going to go exactly the same as my first movie palette guessing game, but if you haven't seen that video, this is basically what it's about to look like. So, I'm going to get a palette, I'm going to try and figure out what the hell it is based on the colors and the hints that I've been left, and then next up, there's going to be a reveal, and we're all going to be like, whoa, I can't believe you got that one wrong as well. At least that's what happened in the first part of this video. Okay, are we ready? Because again, I'm not. This is the first one that I'm looking at here. And if you've seen the first video, there's a movie that I kept guessing. Like once or twice maybe. But a movie that kept coming to my mind every time I saw green. And this came out in 1999. So I'm going to say that this is The Matrix. Yeah, again, it's probably not going to go well. But I'm going The Matrix here. This is The Matrix. I think it is, because she's gone easy on me and it's green. It's The Matrix. And it is. Okay, fantastic. I'm so happy about that. Oh my god, I'm so happy about that. That's fantastic. Okay, 1 for 1. Can you believe it? I can't. Alright, 2015. It's all purple. And I'm not as confident. But I know Inside Out came out in 2015. And that's a colourful movie. I think it's Inside Out. Now I'm too good. Now I'm too good with the hints. That year actually is so damn helpful for me. That's really, really good. Okay, now I'm pumped. Now I'm like, I can get every single one of these. I can do it. Do you believe in me? I kind of do. Okay, so this is clearly a horror movie, you know, just based on the colors and everything. And it came out in 2011. Now, in the last video, I guessed one of them to be Cabin in the Woods and I was dead wrong. It was just, I don't even remember what it was. It was completely wrong. Okay, no, another 2011 film. This could either be Cabin in the Woods. I don't think it's Cabin in the Woods, but I'm keeping that in mind. Or it could be a Harry Potter movie. This could be the Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think came out in 2011. Or did Part 2 come out in 2011? I'm going Deathly Hallows 2, okay? It was Cabin in the Woods. All right, fine, fair enough. You got me there. That was a fair go right there. Okay, I was really close with that one. I feel like, but not quite. Okay, so with the year, this one's made it heaps easier. I know this one straight away. Just looking at those colors and looking at that year, that's Aladdin. I know it. I know it is. I just know it. I know it. I knew it. Okay, I'm too good. I'm too good with this. This year thing is a real handicap that's helping me out quite a lot. Okay, 2007. This is what looks like might be a horror movie. It's very blue. 2007 blue film. Or it could be like, blue. It could be like Transformers or like something action-y like that, actually. Or it could be, something like that, you know. Or speaking of Transformers, Shia LaBeouf, Disturbia. I reckon I'm going Disturbia. Ah, Dead Silence. I feel like that was a good guess though, you know. Dead Silence, if you hadn't heard of it, is a really underrated James Wan film. All right, next up, 2017. I reckon I know what this one is already just looking at it as well with the year. I know it. This is Beauty and the Beast, the remake. The live action. Ah, damn it. I really thought I had that one. All right. 2013, and this one is dark. This is probably a horror movie as well, looking at the very muted and dark colors, you know. Got the spooky vibes in there. And I know my wife made this presentation I'm doing here, and I know she knows the movies I love. And I'm going The Conjuring, because The Conjuring came out in 2013. We've already had a James Wan movie, and I reckon we're going to have another one. Alright. I'm too good now. Now I feel like I'm cheating with the year. But it could be literally, without the year there, just imagine it, without that year right there, this could be anything. Oh, man, that's a really bright and blue one from 2006. Okay, what is bright and blue and came out in 2006? That sounds like a riddle or something. Is this like a, okay, is this like a kid's movie? Is this animated? Because it's very bright, but it's also very muted. Children of Men came out in 2006, I believe, but that's too bright, isn't it? I think that's too bright. Children of Men is like apocalyptic and stuff. I know Borat came out in 2006, but that's definitely not what this is. What the hell movies are blue that came out in 2006 and are this bright? Okay, think like Pixar. Think Pixar. What came out in 2006? The Incredibles, I think. Or was that earlier? That was 2004. How about the Lilo and Stitch movie? That came out around then, but I feel like it wouldn't be that. Nah, it's too blue. There would be more greens. What the hell is blue? 2006. I think I have to forfeit this one. I have no idea what this could possibly be. I'm out. I don't know this one. I'm so sorry. Happy Feet. Okay, so it was animated. It was animated, but that didn't come to my mind at all. Alright, fair enough. I'll take that loss. That was definitely on me. Okay, so 2012, and these are very muted. This is very brown and yellowy, and I'm thinking desert. I'm thinking it's like, you know, desert or outback or whatever. And I do know that in part 1, Inglourious Basterds was in there. And I feel like maybe this could be Django. Django Unchained, maybe. Or something completely different. Okay, but look at that. Django starts off at night, and then he gets freed. You know, about here. Yeah, I'm calling it Django. Ah! The years! Okay. Alright, 1995. Colourful. This is going to be a Disney movie or something like that. I know it. This is going to be like Toy Story. Is this Toy Story? Damn it. Okay. To be fair, I don't know Pocahontas that well, so the colours didn't spring to my mind, but that makes sense. I'm picturing some scenes like there's that scene where things are flying around in the air or something, and it's very colourful. I don't know Pocahontas that well. All right, 1960, black and white. That's got to be. I know there aren't too many movies from the 60s that me and my wife would have seen, and I don't think she's done any movies that we haven't seen, so this has got to be Psycho. I'm assuming. Yeah. Cool. I feel so much better getting all of them right than in the last video. 2001, I'm looking at those colours. This is Shrek. I know it straight away. This is Shrek. Yep. I'm too good at this now. Yeah, no, that just makes a lot of sense to me. That's when they go to the castle here and all that stuff. That's Shrek as hell. If I've ever seen a Shrek palette, that is a Shrek palette. 2019. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is either 2019. Actually, no, I'm not so confident. I came off straight away. I'm like, is it? I was thinking Endgame, maybe, just because 2019. That's the first kind of movie that came to my mind from 2019. But is that colourful enough to be that? I don't think that's colourful enough. 2019. What else came out in 2019? What's that racing movie called? Ford v Ferrari? Nah. 2019. Alright. Where's my boy over here? I think that's off screen. Parasite. Maybe. Okay. Okay, Midsummer. Yeah. Oh, okay, so the start is when her family is getting all killed and stuff, and then just bright, almost all the way through when she arrives. That makes a lot of sense now that I'm looking at it, yeah, and it looks pretty awesome as well. I really like the ones like that have these really distinct kind of sections, like the really dark stuff here and then the brightness. Like I really like when a movie looks really like it's really in segments, I guess, visually at least, when it's on the palette like this. I don't know if I might subconsciously notice it in the actual movie while it's playing, but while I'm looking at the actual palette, that's just a cool look. I like that. You know what I mean? Okay, what's next? 2020. Okay, 2020, and it's bright in some places, and the bright ones always scream to me animated. Like, just straight away they scream to me animated. And actually, I reckon I know what this is, because this blue part here, I reckon is when they do the thing in Seoul, where they go to the thing. There's a ship. I don't know. It's Seoul. And it is. All right. Awesome. Okay, 1978. You know what? I don't think I would have guessed this from the colors, if I'm being honest, but from that year, and oh no, somewhat looking at the colors, but that year screams Halloween to me. Yeah, right? Yeah, Halloween. Ah, okay, never mind. Cool, completely off. That's all right. That's all right. I'll take that loss as well. My bad. All right, it's 2019 again. I'm looking at much more color here, and I'm going Endgame. Do you reckon? Do I think Endgame? What happens at the end of Endgame? Would it look darker than that? Would it look darker than what's over here? Possibly. Yeah. When does the snap happen? What else came out in 2019? I'm drawing a complete blank on any 2019 films now that I've got the year here. I'm going Endgame. Okay. Okay. Good. What's up next? Okay, 2021. A 2021 film. And it's very white, clinical looking, possibly. Something like that. What came out in 2021? Just last year. When did... no. I was going to say Train to Busan for some reason. Wrong year, and it doesn't look like that. Why did that come to my mind? I have no idea. What else came out last year? Last year. We were in lockdowns last year, yes. There was that crappy X-Men movie, New Mutants. There was Last Night in Soho. It's not Last Night in Soho. That would be darker. 2021. I don't know what this is. Black Widow. That's a 2021 movie. Okay. More muted than you would think that it would look, but it looks a lot more nuanced and patient, I guess, than you would think something like Spider-Man No Way Home would look. You'd think that Spider-Man No Way Home would just be in your face, complete colors everywhere, but it actually is a lot more grounded than that. In its visual approach. Alright, let's see what's next. 1974. It gets quite dark in there, and I'm thinking this is a horror movie, right? Is that the year the original Chainsaw Massacre came out? I believe it is, right? Right? I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm gonna say that's what that is, because look, it starts off in the orangey, deserty kind of area, and then it's sort of more muted because they're inside the house and everything, and then it gets real dark. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Alright, good as. I'm describing me. I'm good at this. Okay, 2015. I'm guessing this is some sort of sci-fi film, as it's all dark and it's kind of blue as well and everything like that. What came out in 2015? Interstellar? Nah, that was 2014. What else came out in 2015? Age of Ultron? That wouldn't be that dark. Horror movies in 2015. How about... what year did Insidious 3 come out? First came out in 2010. Second came out in... what was that? The next year? I feel like 2015 is the wrong year for Insidious 3. Okay, what else could this be? What else is really dark, and what else is you know, sci-fi maybe, or horror-y. I'm not sure which to go for. Gravity came out in 2013. I'm just gonna go Insidious 3, but I don't think that's right. Ah, The Hateful Eight. I would have thought that would have been so much more white. That's so interesting. I guess they're in the cabin like the whole time though. So that does make a lot of sense. And then you can see every single time it gets a lot lighter. That's any time that they go outside. So that's a pretty interesting kind of visual right there. Anyway, let's see what's next. 2017. Okay, 2017. I'm thinking this looks kind of like somewhat of a drama maybe. Or I already guessed Beauty and the Beast, the 2017 version, and I think I'm gonna do that again. I'm doing that again. Yeah, wow. That looks so much more yellow than I would have thought. It looks awesome. I like it a lot, but that's a surprising one. Some of them, like most of them, I feel like aren't that surprising. You see them and they make so much sense. You're like, of course that's what it is. That one is a surprise though, like a pretty cool surprise. Yeah, those aren't the primary colors that come to my mind when I think of that movie. Okay, 2015. These are obviously like yellowy and greeny and stuff. This looks kind of like Nightcrawler, but for one, I've got that palette, and for two, that came out in 2014. So, what came out in 2015? 2015, I'm thinking it's a sci-fi. What year did... Nah, Blade Runner 2049 came out in like 2019 or something. That was heaps later. But that kind of looks like that though, right? Like, you kind of see where I'm coming from there. Let's go Age of Ultron, because that came out in 2015. Let's go Age of Ultron. Green Room. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, that does make a lot of sense now that I'm actually looking at it. That does make a lot of sense. 2019, I've called it twice already, but I'm doing it again, and I'm calling Endgame. Please be Endgame this time. Please be Endgame. I kind of need it. Just do it. Yes! Thank God. I hate guessing the same movie over and over. Like, I get super worried because, like, it starts to feel like it's a waste, you know what I mean? But it saved me in the end that time. 1984. Okay. 1984 screams two things to me. A Nightmare on Elm Street and The Terminator. And A Nightmare on Elm Street was in the previous video that I made. I'm calling The Terminator for sure. Gotta be. 84, it's gotta be. Yeah. Like I said, my wife made this PowerPoint presentation, and she knows the movies I like. She wasn't going to do some random bullshit I've never heard of. And 1984 screams Elm Street and The Terminator. That's just that year summed up entirely for me. So yeah, that does make a lot of sense to me. 2007. 2007, and it looks, it's looking a bit dark, but I don't know if it looks horror dark. I think it looks like thriller drama dark, if you know what I mean. That's just the vibes I'm getting from that picture. I don't know why, that's just kind of how I feel. What came out in 2007? Let's see. 2007 films that look something like that. I don't know. I gotta forfeit this one. I don't like doing that. This is the second time I've done that this video, but nothing is coming to my mind. Vacancy. Okay, that does make sense. That does make sense. That's another really good movie that I think is really underrated, to be honest. Like, it doesn't have huge respect, but I kind of think it's great. Very much like The Strangers. Alright, 2010. What came out in 2010? When I look at the year 2010, Batman Under the Red Hood comes straight to mind, and Insidious comes straight to mind. But Insidious was in the last video, and that doesn't look like Batman Under the Red Hood to me, and I don't think my wife would have thought to do Batman Under the Red Hood either. So I'm looking at this, thinking about what else came out in 2010. Iron Man 2 is a film that springs to mind for some reason, but I don't think that this is Iron Man 2. Movies exist. Like, every single time I'm coming up here, the pressure's on, and I forget any movies that exist ever in my life. I just don't. I just can't think of anything. I think it's wrong, but let's go Batman Under the Red Hood. I never would have thought of How to Train Your Dragon, but hey, it looks cool. It's definitely a cool looking one. I wouldn't have thought of it. Okay, 2003, and it looks very green, and my mind always goes straight to the Matrix. If I see any green, I'm like, Matrix! But I don't think it's any of the Matrix sequels. I feel like it won't be. So what else came out in 2003 that has a bunch of green in it that looks somewhat like that? Let's go. This is such a random choice. Like, I really pulled this one out of my ass, but I'm looking at it. I don't know exactly what year it came out. And I don't even like this movie, but House of Wax. I just, green, I don't know. It makes sense to me. Let's see if I'm right. I'm probably not. Wrong turn. Okay. Oh yeah, shrubbery, greenery, forest. That's why it's green. 2003, Wrong Turn. That makes so much sense to me now that I'm looking at it. Wrong Turn is such a fun franchise. It's not good, but it's fun. 2019, once again, and we're looking at blues. We're looking at, a lot of distinct stuff. And you know what? I reckon I know what this is. I know what this is. Yep. This is Escape Room. Because the red part is, I don't remember. It's one of the escape rooms. But then this part is when it's like icy and stuff. And they have to, I don't know, they have to get something from under the ice and everything. Look, you can see the distinct, different escape rooms all right there. And that came out in 2019. Yep. Oh, I'm a genius. It's official. I'm a genius. All right, 2009. And look at that. Look at how distinct the sections are in this film. It's like almost black and white, it looks like at the start there. And then, oh man. Heavy contrast that is confusing me and throwing me for a loop here. How about, I know Terminator Salvation came out in 2009, but I don't think it's that. What has a very orangey, bright section right in the middle of your movie, and then not that for the rest of it? I don't know why I'm guessing this. I don't think it's going to be right, but I'm pretty sure the second Transformers came out then. How about that? Should I go with that? I don't think that's going to be right at all. Nah, it's not that. I'm not going with that. That's a crap guess. That sucks. That guess sucks. What else came out in 2009? I'm just looking at that bright orange part right in the middle there, and I'm like, what the hell has that moment in there, right in the middle there? Oh, let's just go with whatever the second Transformers is called. Okay. That's a very sneaky choice from my wife there, who made this little thing. Exam would have never come to my mind, but it is a film that we both absolutely love. That is a clever guess, and I love it. But no, I did not think of it. I'm surprised that one for this film exists on Movie Palette. I'm just continuously impressed. Just like, because again, if they don't have it, you can request it and they custom make it. But if they do have it, well, they have it, and they have it a lot of the time. Anyway, let's see what's next, shall we? 2002, bright, colorful, pinky, purpley, girly, possibly. Like some sort of animated film that's maybe a little more on like the feminine side, possibly. When did, what year did Mean Girls come out? I don't know. I'm just looking at all the pink and I'm like, Mean Girls. But nah, that was 2004. I'm going nuts here. 2002. What a 2002 movie. Spider-Man came out in 2002. I know that's not it. I don't know. Was there some sort of freaking Barbie movie that came out in 2002? I'm just judging this off of the pink right at the end there, but it's probably going to be something entirely different from what I'm even trying to think of right here. Like, it's going to be like, I don't know, like some horror movie or something like that. What is another kids movie? Like, what year did... I don't know what year... Toy Story, I'm thinking like Toy Story 2, but I reckon that came out in like 1999 or 2000, so I think that's wrong. What else is there? I don't know, I've completely drawn a blank. I'm not sure. Forfeit this round. Okay, that came to my mind in a few of the earlier ones, so it kind of annoys me that I didn't think of it this time, but alright, cool. And so now this is the last one. Let's see what the very last one is. Another 2009 movie with some really bright moments and some really dark moments in between. And that just confuses me. The 2009 year. Like, I feel like I've completely drawn a blank on anything that came out in the early 2000s. I don't know why. I just can't think of anything. I want to study it. I want to look at it properly. I want to get it right. Because I've gotten a few of these right now, and I'm like, come on, I can get most of them. If I got even half, that's going to be exciting. I was just thinking, like, what year did the first Hunger Games come out? That was 2012. What year did... Other things come out. What else? What came out in 2009? What are 2009 movies that look like that? I'm thinking like Harry Potter would have come out that year, but no, that would be a lot darker than this. Do I go animated once again? Animated? What came out? What animated film came out then? When did the first Hotel Transylvania come out? I don't think that's what it's gonna be. This is so hard. This is actually so hard. It's like infuriating how hard it is. It's really annoying to me. But I think I don't know this one either. I can't think of anything and I'm so sorry. Okay. Alright. Yep, my wife knows that I love that movie. She loves it too, actually. That's a great choice for a movie, but I absolutely did not get it. Which is definitely my bad. So I didn't exactly get quite half, just under, which is annoying, but yeah, 12 out of 30. That's still pretty shit. Those are still some pretty bad stats, but I do feel a bit better about it. Those numbers do make it quite a bit easier, the release years. So yeah, that's that. Those are the movie palettes. I think I've talked about them quite enough for one day. And yeah, check them out if you're interested because they are awesome. I do really like them quite a lot. And yeah, this was super fun. I might do some more kind of quiz things like this at some point because I really like doing sort of little games and shit like this. They are really fun to do even if I am pretty bad at them. Yeah, my wife and I, we have a few ideas of some ones that she can maybe help me out with in stuff like this. So yeah, look out for that kind of stuff. If you have any ideas of what like you'd like to see, like in terms of some sort of quiz game thing, let me know. Because actually I would be really into doing more of that kind of stuff. Because, you know, anyone can just do a movie review. And I guess anyone can do a weird quiz game as well. But not everyone is doing a weird quiz game. So it could be a fun little thing to do a little bit more of. Anyway, so that's about all that I have to say. The movie palettes are great. I love them. They're like really just pretty. And I like them. I like them a lot. I like having them around the house. And that's it. So, before you go, please do the things, which are like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'm out of here. Goodbye.